There is nothing more satisfying when I'm working on a city in this version of SimCity. And I've been laying roads and zoning and putting down schools and other services and maybe landmarks and making a decision on if it's going to be a gambling city or a city that specializes in oil or maybe a futuristic city. For me, when that one data map, and you've seen me click it multiple times, multiple cities, multiple regions and seasons, clicking on the happiness map and seeing a city that's primarily green or in some cases completely green, that is the most satisfying feeling for me. Yes, it's nice to see a city that's making money and that has plenty of available jobs and no unemployment or even zero homeless or across this board, the dashboard, everything is neutral. We're not having any issues, but there is just something satisfying about that happiness map as part of our data layer. I just absolutely I love it. I love it. So welcome back to more Sim City. I'm sitting here, I'm looking at this city, and yes, I know that this city over here originally was our primary vacation city, and it's got four casinos and multiple gambling houses. And we were coming over here to do just a little low to medium density vacation beach city. But I am absolutely loving the look of this city. It's funny how that works. Remember when we started this city, I had no idea what I was going to do, and I'm pleased with the results. And I've gotten some really good comments about the city as well. And I know that because I got one comment about how this roundabout, the person said, in all honesty, that takes up too much space. And yes, it takes up too much space, but that's part of the fun of it is each city has its own unique look and feel, and I know it's so part of when we build cities, it's just kind of baked in that we always want our cities, because this the person commented, if you didn't have this roundabout so big and taking up so much space, you could build and just get and that's kind of what we fall back on. But from the very beginning, I said I did not want a wall to wall high density city, and we do not have any tall high rise skyscrapers. We've got and we're pretending. I know this is an apartment in as far as the game is concerned, but we're pretending that this is a kind of a luxury hotel, and we've got this casino. We've got these two tall buildings, and then those two landmarks. And I love the fact that that's what dominates the skyline, and I'm loving this beachfront community with some vacation homes and volleyball, tennis courts, and we've made really good use of this barbecue pavilion. But yeah, it's just human nature. We want our cities to always, every single city, to be wall to wall, high density skyscrapers, and that's not what I want. That's not what I want here. And I'm loving the fact that we went along the road of British architecture. This was cool. This is nice, and this casino is really starting to come together from a profit standpoint. Look at that. Nice. Nice. Um, we placed down this gambling house, and I wanted to be careful that it didn't take up too much space. But I think when we put this there, we would only lose that one building, that one house back there. And if we put that back here like that instead of up here, if we put it down there, I don't think it really takes up that much space. Because remember, I was afraid that the footprint of this would be too much. But nice. Because I want to get more people. I want more lodgers. And now that we've got low and medium wealth lodging placed, that should help that. But right before recording, that lit up ever so briefly. So there's nobody in jail there. Okay. It's not full. Where's the other one? It's over there. That's close. That's close. So let's do this. Let's put down. I don't want to lose. Yeah, let's do it there. Maybe a few more cars. That's the fun of it, is just coming up with different. Um, yeah. So on one hand, yes, we've got a roundabout that is absolutely huge, huge. But I'm loving the looks of this city. But I think we are. I kind of feel like we're now approaching, or we're at that point. That's good as well. That's satisfying also. Zero rubble, zero abandoned buildings, because that is a good indicator of how things are going. But we've got. I want a bit more. I think I want more surplus of everything, because we're going to start sending. Let's see. And we can always come back, but let's take a look. But I think we are now at that point. Oh, wow, that's a lot of capacity there. I love the fact this city never really had an issue with fire. 3 fire trucks there. 2 fire trucks there. This city really didn't have much of a health issue. And for a city with gambling, nothing outrageous. So I think, and what we've been doing for the last few moments has been more tweaking. If we stay here too much longer, we'll end up developing this, and I don't want to do that. So I think it's time to start thinking about moving on to our last city of the region and of the season. Let's send. Actually, I'm going to send the financial gift from there. Let's do that. We'll send the financial gift from there, but remember, from here there isn't a road network. So I'm going to send a garbage truck, fire, health, police. Garbage, fire, health, police. But yeah, this has been, I don't know, I've really enjoyed this city. We'll have to find an excuse to come back, and with the city right next door, that may be an excuse enough. Let's go over here. Let's see, we should have a connection, and we do. So let's send. Let's start there. So we've sent a financial gift. We're sending some services, and when we go over here, we'll purchase power, water, and send sewage there. As always, I like to save when I send funds, and I always like to see that notification. I don't recall if we saw it or not, but yeah, let's load into our final city, our last city of the region, our last city of the season, and we've been talking about this whole season. We've heard the standard soundtrack, the normal music, because we have not done anything future. And I think that we have 6 cities and people that were being friendly to nature, and they've been discovering things about, the space center, and they've been doing research, and this city is dependent solely on solar power. And I feel pretty confident that the people of this region are going to move to another region, and they are going to go future. They're going to go into advanced technologies. But I'm trying to decide if this city here is that bridge. Yeah, does this city stay non-futurized? Does this city, I don't, there's our gift, our financial gift. I don't know. But as always, before we do anything, okay, wind is blowing in that direction. We got some water over here. I don't think we really need natural resources. I don't think. But there's coal, or lots of oil. Lots of oil. I don't know. I don't know. But we have our financial gift, and we still need to be friendly to the environment. I don't know if we're going to have skyscrapers, high rises, but for right now, let's just. So we know if we do industry, industry's going to be down here. You know, this highway runs through the city. Do we get rid of it? Do we do we run our roundabout and run the highway somewhere else instead of just a straight line, which is just just boring? Do we run it through this mountain? Is the roundabout also in the mountain as well? Let's pause. What do we do first? Maybe before we demolish this, maybe we just make sure that we can do what it is we're trying to do. Let's. And I don't even know if the this map is an ocean map, and will it even allow me to a certain degree, to a certain depth, but not that deep, to right about there. So it is possible. I mean, we could just kind of have the highway, different highways, just going out, radiating in different directions. I just don't want I just don't want a straight line. That's what I don't want. I just don't want a straight line. This is a good area to build in, though, isn't it? What if, have we ever done, a lot of times our roundabout, let's turn off guides. It's already, a lot of times our roundabout is like a square with rounded off corners. But what if it's a triangle? Let's just see what it looks like. And then maybe from here, But I will need feedback on what direction we go with this city. Hmm. Okay, so I'm gonna do that. And I'm gonna do that. Let's make sure we can. Okay. Do that. Now, let's get rid of this. So now you can still drive through the city, but it's just not a straight line. And then maybe, how do we connect? Do we do it this way? Graphically, it may not look. It's not bad. Maybe just this? Or do we go out here? We should have tested to make sure we have enough. I'd hate to have to. Okay, good. Okay, good. So we can radiate out. Yeah, good. Good. All right, so we've got to decide. Well, now I also need to decide if I'm happy with that. But I don't want a tunnel. What does that look like? Is that better? And that's better. That actually looks pretty good. Now we did have water up here, so maybe we do. Wait, where are the boundaries to our city? We could do water up here, or this could be a neighborhood, or this could be. Oh, before we go any further, so electricity, we're going to purchase. Water, we're going to purchase. And we're going to send sewage. There's garbage coming, fire, health, police. I still got to decide, and we've got time, about the density. You know, what kind of a city is this going to be? You know, thinking of maybe, is this a continuation? I mean, it's so close. We've got all of this beach. Maybe this is a continuation of that theme. We've been doing a lot of tourism. And remember, I didn't have as much space as I thought I was going to have for my beachfront. And I have kind of the same scenario here where the wind is dictating industry, but I don't think I'm going to need as big of an industry. I'm going to try to force it not to be as. I mean, we could do just a sliver. We could try to force this, and we could also do some things over here and let the wind carry it in that direction. You know how we had those three roads, those three highways? What if we do or what if we do this? I'd kind of like this to curve. I like this thought. And then maybe let's come out here. I'm going to do that temporarily. And then let's see, that intersection is awfully close. So let's get rid of this. And instead, let's do it that way. And then let's Let's maybe bring this one out. Maybe go in this direction. And then we can branch off with maybe some. I'm going to go ahead and let's just go ahead and complete. Let's do this. Let's complete this. And then maybe have some pockets of. I'm going to do a road. I don't want it so straight. Like that. I really think we need to run this train underneath if we can. I don't know where we're going to link it up, but let's at least establish. That's too bad. Maybe we keep working on it. Look at that. Now that works. So we know it's possible. We know it's possible. Maybe we have two pockets. Maybe we can do some industry here, but maybe this is also a bit of another tourist. We can run a road. We can run a road like this. So we could end up with a road that's kind of for our tourists to take. And maybe this is a tourist area or one of them. Do that. We can get this back up, maybe. Maybe not. Oh, graphically that fell apart. Look at that. The game did not like. We may have to elevate because that looked horrible. How about that? That's better. And we can get our train underneath. We could do another train station in this area and maybe one over. This could be a nice little pocket for visitors. Hmm. Well, that kind of, I was originally, remember we were going to run these two roads over for industry, but that kind of means we're going to have to keep industry confined to here. But if we're going down a little bit more of that tourism path again, it won't make that big of a difference. I'm gonna go ahead. Let's go ahead and zone some industry. Wait, let's start the game. Let's start. Okay. Let's do. Let's do that. I don't know how I feel about. We could have some dead ends. We could have some cul-de-sacs. We'll see. We'll see what it looks like when we're. And this would almost surely mean that this is definitely not going to be a high population. You know, this could be a lot like the city where we did the scenic train. And then the very next episode, I completely redid it. Because I'm not so sure about some of these four-way intersections. So one, two, three, four of them. But we'll get some people in. That could be cool though. We could elevate this. We could elevate that so that if you're trying to get to the beach, you're not. Because I know what happens with that many four-way intersections. I don't want it to be too tall. There. Let's do it from the other direction. Then for the people here, maybe a little bit of shopping here. Good amount of shopping along there. More houses. That's a start. I just need to get a feel. Man, that could be interesting. We'll see. We'll see. This could be interesting. Almost a suburb of that. We'll see. But we need to get some houses and shops and a couple of industrial buildings in. And then we'll make our determination. We need to also monitor because that's really close. Yeah, I think we might have to make some alterations to that, but this is a start. We're off to a start.